Okay, welcome to our 9.6 part 2 video. In the previous lesson we learned about the quadratic formula. Today we're going to learn about a more specific part of the quadratic formula called the discriminant. And again, we learned earlier that a quadratic equation can have two, one, or no real number solutions. And before you ever begin solving a quadratic equation, we can figure out how many solutions it's going to have by using the discriminant. The discriminant is the expression underneath the radical sign right here. So this b squared minus 4ac, that's what we call our discriminant. So when we solve the discriminant by using our equation, our quadratic equation, if we get a number that is larger than 0, meaning a positive number, we know immediately that we're going to have two real number solutions. If we get a number that's going to be equal to 0, we're going to have one solution. And if we get a number that is less than 0, meaning a negative number, we know that we're going to have no real number solutions. So let's go ahead and practice a couple of these. First one here, we have to get it in standard form first. We can see this 5's on the right side. We need to move it over to the left by subtracting 5 from both sides. So we get 2x squared minus 3x minus 5 equals 0. So now we're going to use this discriminant right here to get b squared. Now it doesn't matter if b is positive or negative because we are going to be squaring it, so it's going to become a positive. So you can either write it, to write it correctly, you need to write negative 3 squared minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, which is negative 5. But even if you don't write this negative, you're still going to get the same thing. So you'd end up with 9 plus, or minus, well, minus a negative, which is plus 40, and then you would end up getting 49. Again, since that is a positive number, you're going to have two solutions for that problem. Okay, again, you can just type all this into your calculator, or for this problem you wouldn't even need a calculator. You could do that without it. So again, solving another one using the discriminant, same formula up here, we're going to go b squared, which is a negative 2 squared, minus 4 times my a, which is 1, times c, which is 3. When I multiply this out, I get a 4 minus 12, which gives me negative 8. Again, since my discriminant is a negative, I have no solution. Remember, if it ended up giving me 0, if it was equal to 0, then I would have one solution. Okay? Pause it if you need to get this copied down, otherwise we'll move on. Okay, now I want you to pause it, work through these three problems using your discriminant, which was b squared minus 4ac. Use that equation or formula to find your discriminant to tell me how many real number solutions we have. For this first one, we have to write it in standard form first, so we're going to subtract 7 from both sides to get 6x squared minus 5x minus 7. Using our discriminant, we're going to go negative 5 squared minus 4 times my a, which is 6, times my c, which is negative 7. When I do that, I get 25 plus 168. I add that together and I get 193. Again, it is a positive number. I have two solutions. The second one down here, it's already in standard form for us. I'm going to go 12 squared minus 4 times 9 times 4 as my c. I get 144 minus 144, which equals 0. Again, we set up it equals 0. That means that there is going to be one solution. And then the final one, I have 3 squared minus 4 times my a, which is 1, times my c, which is 11. I have 9 minus 44 to give me a negative 35. It's a negative number, so I have no solution. Go ahead and pause it if you need to copy this work down. Again, now make sure that we write any questions that we have over the lesson. Remember, finding the discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. That tells us how many solutions that we have. If our discriminant is positive, we have two solutions. If our discriminant is 0, we have one solution. If our discriminant is negative, we have no solution.